Welcome back to Chrono Gear, Warden of Time. Last time, Chrono faced off against her arrogant doppelganger, Ultra Lapis, and ended up in a 2-day coma for her troubles. But now that she's back on her feet and ready to continue the quest for the Chrono Gears, because we're off to the world of civilization.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Well, this one honestly, I know I'm probably going to offend someone, but Mumei seems troubled in her memories. So we probably better just head over and fix this problem before she does something rash. But here's our first level for the world of civilization, the road of such. But as I go ahead, as Chrono does her thing moving forward, I have an elephant to address here over the title card for the last part. If you are coming here from our Hall Live, you probably know that the title card art I used was made with AI. I knew this, and I put it on there anyway because I thought the artwork looked good and it would work too. And it helped sell the scene of what was going to happen during that fight with Lapis. And I couldn't find anything else that matched it. Unfortunately, because this is still very much a time where people are using AI to be lazy and put out schlock. The moment you say you've used it for anything, especially for artwork, that is basically going to summon a hate monger on you. So I got raked along the clothes for that. In hindsight, I should have went with something else, but much of the fan art involving both Chrono and Lapis ain't safe for work, and I don't need neither that kind of madness or YouTube looking for an excuse to demonetize my channel for anything else, any more than it already does. Seriously, I've been copyright stricken just for using battle music from Kingdom Hearts' actual soundtrack, and that somehow got hit. But lesson learned, don't use the AI artwork when possible. When it comes to this stuff, draw it yourself. Moving forward, in other news, Disney definitely flexed hard at the D23 Expo with their the newest trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. And how they did it is by showing, instead of just showing more cryptic story, although that was still there in this trailer, the biggest thing they added was a showcase of one of the new worlds in the game. It is Pixar's Coco. Okay, that's a good choice. But as far as the Pixar worlds would go, you know, I'm still just going to be waiting for Brave or for The Incredibles to make the jump. But more important on that end is finally we have a launch date for the game. Late 2027 for all consoles and PC. So it's basically hope. While it will not be coming out on the 25th anniversary, that was in June, there's more or less a push for it to line up with Final Mix's first release in 2002. And it also makes sense because of how that came out. Kingdom Hearts came out in the summer, Final Fantasy X came out in the spring. All things are balanced. But that wasn't the only Kingdom Hearts related thing announced at D23. For Tetsuya Nomura officially announced that a animated series is in the works for the Disney Channel and for Disney Plus. Hey Nickelodeon, why can't you do this with your own show? When it comes to what goes to Netflix and Paramount Plus. Because your channel can't just be SpongeBob all the freaking time. But ever since the planned animatic pilot leaked onto it, I very much would like to see a fully animated series in some form. And now we might get it. As for what I hope to see in the show, as it's going to be an original story rather than possibly a canon piece slash adaptation of one of the older games, I would actually like it to be about Legacy. It's about a new generation of Keyblade warriors trained up by Mickey, Riku, Kairi, Leia, and I guess maybe Terra and Aqua. They're still around at this point. But this generation of Keyblade warriors are going out of their way to be more progressive in keeping the Heartless, the Nobodies, and the various villains who like to use them in check. So their apprentices and the masters will basically go off the world, fight off a villain for like something simple and then like an episode of King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, and then come back home, repeat the process for weeks in. But for one of these new Keyblade warriors, he is bored of this life. He sees himself as little more than a pest control specialist, and he wants to be a hero. He wants to go on an adventure, just like Sora did, and like his master Riku did in their youth. And that is where things will sound. Somewhat, possibly the new villain in this game, or one of his minions, begins tempting him to break away, to dabble into the darkness or into the light, and find your way to change things to your liking. At least that's how I would do it for the show. As for the staff, I really hope that the director and writers from Disney's Twisted Wonderland is brought on to at least direct and write some of these episodes of the show. They don't have to have full control of it, because then that brings Sony and Aniplex and their way of pushing back and causing problems. And if possible, have Nomura try not to be all controlling on the project, especially basically where he should last is having it all make sense with the games, so that the source material isn't broken, the lore isn't broken, and we can still have our cryptic nonsense that can bring on discourse and YouTube videos for eons to come. Moving back over to KH4, having another Pixar film on there is cool, but I'm really hoping they change the variety of what worlds are added to the game. If I was the one actually getting getting to choose, here's what we'll be getting for Cage 4. Kumadara, the world of Raya and the Last Dragon. Zootopia. Yeah, Duckbird. Particularly the reboot version of Duckbird. Pyridane from the Black Cauldron. Atlantis from the Atlantis the Lost Empire. Sherwood Forest from Robin Hood. Camelot from the Sword and Stone. The RLS Legacy from Treasure Planet. The Corridor of Time from Chrono Trigger. Because, hey, I just want it in there. And it's always good to stand for the Dream Team. The Shibuya from The World Ends With You. And The World of Ruin from Final Fantasy VI. That would be my full roster, along with a returning Radiant Garden, Traverse Town, and the Destiny Island, bringing us to a full 13 worlds in the campaign, and maybe like another 3 to 5 in DLC. See, along with some extra bosses and challenges added to add replayability as the game goes on. But all in all, what do you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 4, seeing that we're possibly a year and a half out from its release? Let me know down in the comments below, but please keep it civil down there. Oh, I almost forgot one more thing. Hey, for those who are looking forward to the next part of Fire Emblem Awakening and Penny's Big Breakaway, you're in luck, because they'll be coming up on this Wednesday and Thursday respectively. Why so? Because we have another Splatfest coming up this weekend. As the return of the summer nights has come. The choice? What do you want to see? Where would you go? What would you reserve for a day if you had the choice? A palace? You side with Shiver, a theme park with Fry, or a beach with Big Man? Yeah, I still sit with Team Theme Park on that end. And so you'll probably be seeing me in yellow for that weekend. Anyway, once I'm done with this, it's off to possibly bulk record some more footage for Friday's update. Along with doing some more of Chrono gear, because this is pretty much the last bit of footage I have before I have recorded up. So here's hoping to a good week. Finally, we made it to the near end, and we have a gauntlet of robots to fight our way through. The only way the door opens is we take all of them down. And I am possibly doing this very stupidly, because I could just slow down time. Come on. Okay. Probably about to get jumped by another. Oh no, we did. And here's our de facto boss, Sizz. Just a little more. Alright, that's one. Now for the other. Alright, a little more. Did it. You know, Robot, you can applaud her for that pretty cool pose. So now that we're here, let's see what we can do around. Okay, were you going to do anything? Then goat dog person? Well, and good on that zip ramp. But we now have it's time for the second best girl of this game. Callie, you're literally the avatar of death. Well, would you give Kobo an actual gun? Well, this is pretty much just what we're doing. cleaning up this house. I think this is the one mini game we have for the World of Civilization. Well, we might probably have another one that pops up as we get up next time.
Perfect.
And there we go. Well, folks, that's gonna do it for this part of Chrono Gear Warden of Time. Next time, we move forward onto this industrial complex. Until then, folks! Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw here, and I'll see you next time.